Good evening, everyone. People often believe that confidence means having no fear, but that's not true. The most important decisions in life are rarely made without uncertainty. Building a dream, starting a company, changing the future, or choosing one person to spend your entire life with. None of these come with guarantees. Today, I want to talk about a sentence that sounds weak at first, but actually hides incredible strength. Have you ever looked into someone's eyes and realized that one answer could change your entire future? Today, I'm not here to talk about romance alone. I'm here to talk about courage. Because saying I love you is easy, but asking, will you accept my love, is one of the bravest questions a human being can ask. Every great journey begins with uncertainty. Every meaningful dream begins with risk. Love is no different. You can build incredible things, achieve impossible goals, and conquer the world. But when your heart stands before one person, everything becomes real. This isn't just a story about love. It's a story about believing in someone enough to be vulnerable, enough to face rejection, and enough to hope for a future together. So, before we begin, I want you to ask yourself one question. If your heart had only one chance to speak, would you have the courage to ask, will you accept my love? Love is often described as a feeling, but feelings are temporary. They rise, they fall, they change with time, circumstances, and experience. A future cannot be built on something that disappears with a difficult day. A future is built on decisions. Every meaningful achievement in life begins with a decision to move forward despite uncertainty. The same principle applies to love. Before anyone says, will you accept my love? They must first understand what they are truly offering. They are not offering perfect days. They are not offering a life without mistakes. They are offering commitment, honesty, patience, growth, and the willingness to continue choosing the same person every single day. Many people believe courage is standing in front of thousands of people and speaking without fear. That is impressive, but there is another kind of courage that is far more difficult. It is the courage to become vulnerable before one person. It is the courage to reveal your heart without knowing what the answer will be. It is the courage to risk rejection because something valuable is always worth risking for. Think about every extraordinary invention in history. None of them existed until someone believed in a possibility that everyone else considered uncertain. The inventor accepted the possibility of failure because the vision was greater than the fear. Love demands exactly the same mindset. You cannot expect certainty before taking the first step. You cannot demand guarantees before opening your heart. Sometimes the greatest leap of faith is not toward a new technology, a new business, or a distant planet. Sometimes it is simply toward another human being. When I ask, will you accept my love? I am not asking for perfection. I am not asking you to promise that life will always be easy. I am asking whether we can become stronger together than we could ever become apart. I am asking whether we can face uncertainty as partners instead of strangers. I am asking whether we can transform ordinary days into meaningful memories simply because we choose to walk through them together. Love is not measured by expensive gifts or beautiful words. Those things are pleasant, but they are temporary. Real love reveals itself during ordinary moments. It appears in patience during disagreement. It appears in encouragement during failure. It appears in silence when words are unnecessary. It appears in loyalty when circumstances become difficult. These small moments are what eventually define an entire lifetime. People often wait until they feel completely ready before expressing love. The truth is that no one is ever completely ready. Growth does not happen before the journey begins. Growth happens because the journey begins. Waiting forever for the perfect moment usually means watching that moment disappear. Life rewards movement, not endless preparation. Every meaningful relationship begins with two imperfect people deciding that they will continue learning together. Perfection has never built lasting relationships. Adaptability has. Understanding has. Respect has. The willingness to improve every single day has. These qualities create something much stronger than excitement. They create trust. Trust cannot be purchased. It cannot be borrowed. It cannot be created overnight. It is built one honest conversation at a time, one kept promise at a time, one difficult moment at a time. Every challenge overcome together strengthens the foundation beneath the relationship until it becomes capable of supporting dreams that once seemed impossible. Some people fear rejection so deeply that they never ask the question their heart wants to ask. They convince themselves that silence is safer than honesty, but silence has its own cost. Years later, they wonder what might have happened if they had simply found the courage to speak. Regret is often far heavier than disappointment because disappointment eventually fades, while unanswered questions can remain for a lifetime. The future belongs to those who are willing to act despite uncertainty. Every successful mission begins before success is guaranteed. Every meaningful relationship begins before certainty exists. Confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is choosing to move forward while fear still exists. When I stand before you and ask, "Will you accept my love?" I am not presenting a flawless version of myself. I am presenting someone who is still learning, still growing, still making mistakes, but who is committed to becoming better every single day. I believe growth is one of the greatest expressions of love, because improving yourself is also a gift to the people who choose to walk beside you. A relationship should never limit two people. It should expand both of them. It should inspire bigger dreams, greater courage, deeper compassion, and stronger character. The right person does not reduce your ambition. They become part of the reason you continue pursuing it. They remind you that success has greater meaning when there is someone beside you to celebrate it with. Every sunrise offers another opportunity to choose love again. Not because emotions always remain intense, but because commitment continues long after excitement becomes ordinary. Lasting love is built through countless small choices that seem insignificant on their own but become extraordinary when added together over many years. If there is one thing worth protecting, it is the ability to remain sincere in a world that often rewards pretending. To love honestly is to live honestly. To speak openly is to respect both yourself and the person standing before you. Authenticity may not always produce immediate results, but it always creates genuine connections, and genuine connections are far more valuable than temporary admiration. Love is not a destination that two people suddenly arrive at. It is a direction they choose every single day. The question, "Will you accept my love?" is not really asking for an answer in a single moment. It is asking whether two people are willing to build something that does not yet exist. Every meaningful future begins as an invisible idea before it becomes reality. Relationships are no different. They are designed through trust, strengthened through consistency, and sustained through purpose. Many people search for someone who will make life easy. I believe the better question is whether you have found someone who makes life's challenges worth facing. Comfort is temporary. Purpose lasts much longer. The strongest relationships are not built because two people never struggle. They are built because two people decide that no challenge is greater than their commitment to keep moving forward together. Imagine building something extraordinary. The foundation matters more than the decoration. If the foundation is weak, the structure eventually collapses regardless of how beautiful it appears. Love works exactly the same way. Attraction may begin the story, but character determines how long the story continues. Respect becomes the foundation. Trust becomes the structure. Honesty becomes the support that allows everything else to grow. When I ask, "Will you accept my love?" I am not asking you to believe that life will always be perfect. I am asking whether we can become partners in solving problems instead of blaming each other for them. Every obstacle contains two possibilities. It can divide people, or it can teach them how strong they truly are. The difference is determined by the choices they make when life becomes difficult. Growth has always required discomfort. Every meaningful improvement demands that we leave behind an older version of ourselves. Love encourages exactly that transformation. It inspires patience where there was once frustration. It encourages forgiveness where pride once existed. It creates courage where fear once controlled every decision. The right relationship does not change who you are. It reveals who you were capable of becoming all along. There will be moments when success feels distant. There will be seasons when dreams seem delayed. During those times, words become less important than actions. Remaining present during uncertainty is one of the greatest demonstrations of love. Anyone can celebrate during victory. True commitment becomes visible during difficulty. That is where trust earns its value. The future is created by people who continue believing when evidence is incomplete. Every remarkable achievement once appeared impossible until someone refused to stop believing in it. Relationships require the same mindset. They require faith in progress, even when perfection is nowhere to be found. They require confidence that today's effort becomes tomorrow's strength. People often believe love is about finding someone who completes them. I think a healthier vision is finding someone who challenges you to become a better version of yourself. Completion suggests weakness, growth suggests possibility. Two complete individuals who continue inspiring one another create something far more powerful than dependency. They create partnership. A meaningful relationship is not built by avoiding difficult conversations. It is strengthened by facing them with honesty and respect. Communication is not simply talking. It is listening carefully enough to understand what the other person truly means, instead of only hearing what you expected. Understanding creates peace, where assumptions create conflict. Every day presents another opportunity to become more patient, more thoughtful, and more intentional. Love is not maintained through grand gestures performed once a year. It is maintained through consistent kindness that becomes part of everyday life. A simple moment of encouragement may carry more value than expensive gifts, because encouragement changes how someone sees themselves. When someone accepts your love, they are not accepting your achievements alone. They are accepting your imperfections, your dreams, your fears, your failures, and your determination to continue improving. That is an extraordinary responsibility. It deserves gratitude rather than entitlement. Love flourishes wherever appreciation becomes a daily habit. The strongest people are not those who never experience fear. They are those who refuse to let fear make their decisions. Asking someone to accept your love requires exactly that kind of strength. It means choosing honesty over comfort. It means choosing hope over hesitation. It means believing that vulnerability is not weakness, but one of the highest forms of courage. As time passes, appearances change, circumstances change, and even ambitions evolve. What remains valuable is the commitment to continue choosing each other despite those changes. Consistency creates security. Security creates trust. Trust creates freedom. And freedom allows two people to dream without constantly fearing that everything they have built could disappear tomorrow. If our paths continue together, I do not promise a life without obstacles. I promise a heart that refuses to stop learning, a mind that continues searching for better solutions, and a commitment that grows stronger with every challenge we overcome together, because love is not measured by the absence of storms. It is measured by the decision to keep walking side by side through every season, believing that tomorrow can always become better than today.